Tune in for Patrick Ching's Painting in Paradise.
Aloha, I'm Patrick Ching, and thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. In this episode, we learn to do art with surfboards.
I'll show you how to draw a surfer and paint surfboards. Then we'll visit Ruben Aira, an artist who sculpts and paints surfboards that are presented as trophies to the world's best surfers. All this and more on a surf crafting episode of Painting in Paradise. Surfboards have been around for centuries, with the ancient Hawaiians using carved planks of wood to ride the waves. Over the years, the design of surfboards has evolved, and most of today's modern surfboards are made of a combination of foam and resin. When I was younger, I got inspired by a hot surfboard artist named Jeannie Chesser. We loved to see her airbrush surfboard designs in the ocean. Eventually, I learned how to airbrush and painted surfboards for myself and my friends. Many artists enjoy painting surfboards, and I, for one, just love being around them. I think it's because of the good memories and the energy of the surfboard. When we return, I'll show you how to draw a surfer. On Oahu's east coast lies a special place called Makapuu. On its cliffs is the Makapuu lighthouse, which was first built in 1909. Its 12-foot-tall hyperradiant lens is the largest in the world, and its light still shines from within it, signaling mariners and aircraft of its location. In 2009, Naturally Hawaiian Gallery in Waimanalo hosted the 100th anniversary events for the Makapuu Lighthouse, including an art show, a hike with some of the old caretakers, and a t-shirt designed by myself and artist Nick Black. The original black and white design has now been recreated in color and printed in Hawaii, available in women's and men's sizes small to 3X. The t-shirts and mugs are available at Hawaiian Island Cafe in the Waimanalo Shopping Center or at patrickching.com. A portion of the proceeds go to benefit the Friends of Waimanalo. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I go about drawing a surfer. And you know, when people tell me, hey, I can't even draw a stick figure, I'm like, this is for you, okay? You want to figure out how to draw people? You can start with stick figures. Yeah, I'm going to start with a stick figure of a surfer, and he's kind of like crouched, you know, bending down there, and that's his leg, and you know, that's another leg there, and his foot, okay? And I'm going to put a little ball over there for the head, you know, and I tell you what, I'll make his shoulders kind of like that. I'll give him a little bit of a triangle. This is going to be an enhanced stick figure, you know, like some of the petroglyphs, they got a triangle for the chest over there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the arm and the elbow and the forearm and the hand. I wonder what I'll have the other hand doing. I think I'll have it up there like that, you know. And now when you're doing these things, you gotta kind of plan for foreshortening. What is foreshortening? Right there, you see foreshortening? It's like your arm isn't always sideways like that. Sometimes it comes towards the camera, and people have a hard time dealing with that. Foreshortening is really important in drawing humans, figures, animals, anything. Some parts are closer to you and some parts are farther away, yeah? So, you know, that's why some of these lines look a little strange like that. I tell you what, I'll make the surfboard, and this guy's actually surfing like in the wave. So I'll make the surfboard kind of partially in the wave. And you notice my art has sound. I don't know why my art has sound, but it's how I learned like everything. You know, how to eat. What? Okay, so there's my stick figure enhanced with a triangle for the chest and my surfer. And next what I'm going to do is what I often do. I form up using ovals and circles. And I tell you what, I will just give kind of a, like a circle or maybe a couple of circles for the, the booty part, and oval there and another oval there, and maybe a little more circle for the calf, okay? Figuring out what parts are in back, what parts are in front. There's the foot, there's the chest. I'll give a couple circles where the shoulders are gonna go, another ovals. Okay, you see that I form up my person using just a series of ovals and circles. Do you see the surfer kind of getting formed up over there? You can give him a little bit opu if you like to. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll put a wave in there like a tube. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Oh, this lucky bugger is in the tube. Yes, it is a place of joy. I don't know. I just watch people do it. Some waves, some white water. Continue these lines there. A little trail of foam. And now that I got my surfer formed up on the wave, I'll use a bigger pen, kind of make the details and the outlines the way I want them. And you can do this too.
Surf. Surf. Surf is the only way I say to make music with the ocean day by day. I surf all day, play music all night, and I just can't wait till the morning light to go surf. Wow. Surf, everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, surf. I check all the island breaks I know, but the place I go is the Kaiser Bowl. I surf with the guys from the Kaiser Surf Crew, Daddy Mooch, Bob, and Dennis too. We all surf. Wow. Surf, everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, surf. Waimea, Sunset, Pipeline, Haleiwa, Bells Land, Honduras, Rafaels, Alamoan, and the Kaiser Bowl. Everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, surf.
Don't forget the sound effects. And your signature. And there he is, my guy surfing on a wave. When we return, I'll show you how I paint a surfboard. When I first started painting on surfboards, I learned how to airbrush directly onto the foam. Then, a glasser would finish the board with fiberglass and resin. My shaper friend Ian Vernon taught me the basics of how to shape a board for myself. After the boards were shaped, I took them to Dave Implum of Imua Surfboards, where the boards were fiberglassed and resined. At that point, I prepared the board and proceeded with my painting. Sometimes I get a little help painting my surfboards. Alright, this is how we get this surfboard done. Okay. Over the years, I've enjoyed painting many surfboards. The smell and feel of the resin and foam makes me feel as stoked as I did when I was a young grom.
Kind of get the lumps out.
Alright, so I got my board taped up. I put a couple tape lines where I want to separate the ocean from the sky and the water. And I'm getting my supplies ready. I'll be using acrylic paints, painting on top of the first coat of resin. And I got my paints and brushes and music, paper towels, whatever I might need. Now it's time to have some fun. Before I start, I'm going to mix all my paints, the colors I think I might need for the sky, so that when I start painting, I can just flow smoothly. The thing about any project is that before you finish, first you gotta start. Orange.
First, I'll paint the sky. Then the mountains. I'll give it a little glow on the side that gets lit up by the sun.
Now I'm using a combination of orange and kind of a purple color. Notice when they mix together, it kind of makes a brown. But I want that little golden reflection coming off the sunrise. I don't mind leaving my brush strokes in there. I think it looks kind of nice. And I'll go pull up the tape.
Sometimes I get real into the zone and I enjoy painting fast.
Now I'm going to start some rays, and this can be a little tricky. Now I'm going to start to put some little reflections, very transparent layers of color. See, this is called glazing. And I can use a little blue, little aqua greens, little spit. How did I say that? Aqua green on it too. I'm counting on the brighter the white lines to kind of shine through this aqua green color. So here it is, my finished painting on this 6'1" surfboard. And I got my colors and my critters and the reef. And this is a sunrise scene over the Makapuu Islands. And I'm so fortunate I got to paint on a surfboard shaped by my hero shaper, Dennis Pang. After spraying it with some clear varnish, it's finally time to remove the tape.
And there you have it, the Lanikai Sunrise Honu surfboard. When we return, we'll meet a man who makes surfboard art for the world's best surfers.
The beauty of surfboard carving is that you can start with an old board that would have ended up in the landfill, and you can take that and you can create something beautiful from it. I'm now at a point where I want to share some of these techniques and tricks that I've learned over the years with other people.
And now meet artist Ruben Aira Jr., who turns retired surfboards into amazing works of art.
I'm originally from Cuba. We immigrated when I was a little kid. Grew up on the east coast of the mainland. Came to Hawaii in the late 90s. At that time I was working construction, working on houses, doing all kinds of things. But I've always been an artist. That's where I started working with carving surfboards. I was living up on the North Shore. I was home one weekend and there was an old board stuck in a hole in the fence. And I was like, let's see what we can do with this, right? So I took the fiberglass off and started playing with it. And once I started, I realized the potential, not just the potential and what could be done, but in the fact that it was an available resource that didn't cost me anything. It was everywhere, of course. You're up on the North Shore. It's old boards, broken boards. They're just everywhere. But the first piece that I did, I was trying to figure out just how to do it. There was no video, nobody trying to, show it. So I had to create all my own tools. I had to figure out the techniques of how to create what was in my mind and make it into a reality. Then it was off to the races. It was one after another. I started creating, I started experimenting, I started refining the skills. There's a whole range of things that you have to go through from beginning to end to do something that's a quality finished piece of art. But it's an opportunity too to recycle and to reuse things. And on my first board, I used what was available. So, some tools I might have had laying around. So utility knife, X-Acto knife, blade. And over time, the necessity or what I wanted to achieve helped me create a new tool. So if I needed to get into a corner or I needed to sand around a certain shape or I needed to create something, then being that I couldn't buy the tool, I had to imagine what tool would work for that specific thing. And even to this day, like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, I created a new tool. Now it's one of my more useful tools. It's like, why didn't I create this 10 years ago? And I'm trying to share my knowledge of what I've learned, but everybody has their own journey. So I do trophies for the Hawaiian Pro, and also I create trophies for the Triple Crown. When I first started carving the surfboards, the competition would come through, and I always thought to myself, one day I would have my artwork used as trophies in Van's Triple Crown. And then I was fortunate enough to meet one of the people that coordinated the whole event, and I showed him my work, and she was like, "You want to do it?" And I was like, "Of course I want to do it," and I've been doing it now for about 5 years. In 2020, I was fortunate enough to do the men's and women's. So I did a match set, and I've had guys like Kelly Slater win one of my trophies. I've had, of course, John. He's got a couple of my trophies. You know, all of these great surfers have my artwork, hopefully hanging in their walls.
You can see the incredible art of Ruben Aira Jr. and get his masterclass on the art of surfboard at rubenairajr.com.
Thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. I hope you enjoyed learning about painting and sculpting surfboards. I'd love to see a picture of you and your art, so you can send it to my website at patrickching.com. Bye-bye.
Everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, surf. Once you learn all the radical moves, I know it will put you in the groove. Go off the lip and in the tube. If I can do it, so can you. So go surf. Wow. Surf. Everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, surf. Surf will never, never die, 'cause the feeling makes me fly so high. My love for surf is very strong, so the ocean is where I belong. We go surf. Wow. Surf. Everybody go surf. Wow. Surf, surf. Waimea, Sunset, Pipeline, Haleiwa, Bells Land. Bumburas, Rockpile, Alamoan, and the Kaiser go. Everybody go surf. Wow. Surf.